So as I was working on these pieces for the stairs, I've been thinking about some of our sales, one of my other job, and how important it is for expectations to match, which then lead to higher satisfaction. So here's an example. So this is a wormhole. Now, to me, it's an old wormhole, old enough that the wood has a little bit of character here, a little bit of accent. So is that good or is that bad? Should have I cut this off, not use this piece? So because it's an old wormhole, I'm not worried about other holes developing. From my experience, will be fine. So I'm still like, do I like it or do I not like it? I like the character of it. And I've seen woods that have, they might have 10 of them along here, and some in this side, and it gives, and a little bit more of the mineral stain, and it looks really cool. And you can buy wormy lumber. Now, other people may look at this and say, oh no, I don't want any wormholes in my piece that I'm buying. And so this is a negative for this individual. So it depends on what your expectations are, how you feel about things, which is what leads to your expectations, and that implies your satisfaction if they're met, if your expectations are met. So it's so important that this is kept in mind. Now, I do not build wood items for sale. I tried it at one point. It didn't really work out for me, and I like the stuff I make so much that it would be difficult for me to sell. Plus, I have lots of projects, so I don't really need to do that, fortunately. But if I were in that situation, then these are things I would have to make sure I'm accounting for. Now, if you're building something and the individual can walk up to it and look at it and say yes or no based on their expectations, they either like it or they don't. They're making a decision based on what they're seeing. But let's say someone comes up to you, and I've had this happen many times. Will you build me a custom whatever, bookshelf, a box for my special train set? Custom items, they're built for that individual. You haven't built them yet. You're not even sure how you're going to build them. You have to try to decide, are you taking the job on or aren't you? So for me, I stay away from all those jobs now. I've had some bad experiences with them. And that's because I didn't meet their expectations. That doesn't mean what I built was wrong. I mean, the one thing I built was awesome. I was actually happy when they said they didn't like it because I loved it so much I wanted to keep it myself. So I didn't tell them that, but I was actually quite pleased. And I have it yet, and it's awesome. It's an awesome piece of woodworking. But it wasn't to them. It didn't meet their expectations. And for me, it wasn't a financial loss for me. I didn't count on that money. I didn't plan on it, so it didn't matter. But I just want to stress expectations, satisfaction. And in today's world of reviews, someone could go online and say, does terrible work, uses wormy lumber. Or they can go online and say, his work doesn't have any character. So either way, it can be done. It can be looked at as a negative or a positive. So just wanted to point that out as something I've been thinking about. I don't know. I'm not the end all in expectations or satisfaction surveys or anything, but it's just something I've been struggling with and thinking a lot about in my other job, and it applies to woodworking too. So there you go, my 2 cents. Let's get back to get the music on, get the protection on, and get back to work.